Hello, this is a TradeSight Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, July 21st, 2013, and ending Friday, July 26th. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal 11. Here's a look at a couple of the daily charts. We'll start with the Euro-Dollar. Just like the dollar index, this is sitting exactly where it was right at the beginning of March. They're very similar looking charts, just inverted to each other. We're basically right mid-range for the last 5 months or so, going nowhere. We've got a green static trend line at the top and a red static trend line below. We're right between the two. We're now 8 bars up on this. We're 8 bars down on the dollar index. So we're basically in a neutral place. We can't really say much about breakout or breakdown points at this point because of the location. The pound's a little weaker overall, still exactly where it was back in March, mid-range for the last 5 months, sort of, but in general it's lower on the chart over the last year. Got an inverted cup and handle forming that could possibly turn into something on a breakdown eventually, so we'll see how that goes. And then here's that dollar index chart that I showed you, stalled out right at that static trend line, the green line up top, and we've got a red one below as well. So let's look at ranges that we had for this last week or so. Here is the euro dollar. This is in 30-minute bars. The entire week is in 170 or so pips of range, which is really poor. You know, the euro dollar can trade on average about 130 pips a day, so 170 over the course of a week is not very impressive. You can see that the Sunday move and then part of Monday got us up in this area, and from that point on, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're basically in a 90 pip range total, which is really bad. Let's take a look at the pound at the same time, and you'll notice that it's a little bit better. It's got 240 pips of range, a bigger move, and kind of a constant trend to the upside, although none of it was big, and there was some choppy action there. Overall, is this summer, do we need to be worrying about dropping to half size as we often do in the summer? And I wrote about this last weekend. I'm not there yet, but I could be getting there. It's not just about the market getting a little bit flat, as we're kind of seeing here, as people, especially in Europe, take late summer and August usually off, and that kind of slows down the Forex market. But until I really see it hurting me, I don't tend to go half size, because I've had months of August that were also very nice. And so until we really have some proof and confirmation of that, I'm going to remain in full size. And we had a trade-off in winners and losers this week, so that's not really that negative for me yet. So we'll go ahead and give it an opportunity and see what happens. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the economic data coming out this week, and I can tell you right now, there's not much to focus on. There's very little coming out in general, and so we really don't have that one thing that we like to point to, and none of our big three economic data points, no Fed announcement, no first look at GDP for a quarter. So this is just a straightforward week where a lot of people are probably going to be trading less for the summer. And when you realize how little data is coming out, take a look at this Sunday. No data coming out globally, even though a lot of the world opens on what is really Sunday here in the U.S. Monday, the entire day, one data point out of the U.S. is the existing home sales, nothing else around the world. Tuesday, retail sales out of Canada. Wednesday, HPI out of the U.S., and then the European Consumer Confidence Index. Tuesday night, trade balance out of Japan and New Zealand, the Australian CPI. Overnight, we've got the flash manufacturing and services PMI data out of out of Germany, France, and the broad European sector. Italian retail sales. U.S. Got their manufacturing PMI in the morning. New home sales, crude oil inventories. Got a rate announcement out of the Bank of New Zealand at 5 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday night. We're already into Thursday here with some Spanish unemployment rate data. M3 money supply out of Europe, private loans out of Europe. Preliminary GDP out of the UK, that's probably the biggest number of the week. And then US on Thursday, unemployment claims, which is a weekly number, and durable goods. Got natty gas out of the US. And then Thursday night, CPI out of both broad Japan and Tokyo. Friday morning at 2 a.m., German import prices, and we end the week just like we started it. We had no data Sunday, one data point Monday, and the only thing on Friday is really the University of Michigan data here in the U.S. We are in the middle of core earnings here in the U.S. That's not usually a factor for Forex. We did just have single options expiration on Friday for the month of July. That's not usually a huge deal for Forex. So we're just going to be watching ranges, and if we feel like the ranges really get dry up and everybody's going for their summer breaks, then we will drop to half size. But until I see it, I'm not going to make any changes. As usual, we will be in the lab to help you out and call trades. Have a good week.